Hi friends, welcome to the 70 Salesforce Interview Questions and Answers which some of you have asked and which should be useful and insightful for your Salesforce interview preparations. Before that, if you haven't watched the previous Salesforce tutorial, please watch it, links are in the description box or click on the link above. Let's now take a look on the topics first. So, we have decided to divide the questions into the 8 critical foundation topics which is important for all of us for better understanding and to understand which Salesforce area we need to go through and which one we need to study further. The sections are 1. Organization setup and user setup. 2. Security. 3. Objects. 4. Reports and dashboards. 5. Automation. 6. Data management. 7. Sales and marketing applications. 8. Service and support applications. So friends, before jumping to the interview questions, a very quick look on the Salesforce architecture. When you think about the Salesforce architecture, imagine a series of layers as shown. Salesforce is a cloud company. Everything resides in the trusted, multi-tenant cloud. The Salesforce platform is the foundation, powered by metadata and made up of different parts, like data services, artificial intelligence, and robust APIs for development. All the apps sit on top of the platform. Pre-built offerings like Sales Cloud and Marketing Cloud, along with apps using the platform, have consistent, powerful functionality. Platform technologies like Einstein Predictive Intelligence and the Lightning Framework for development are built into everything. So friends, our first section is Salesforce organization and user setup. First, let me give you the important topics which are general topics in this section. Also, you can find the Salesforce resource link in the description box. So the frequent topics which are asked from this section are company information, fiscal year, business hours, currency management, default settings, governor limits, UI settings, search settings, list views, home page layouts. Now let's go through the interview questions in this section. So question 1 is, what is the difference between Salesforce.com and Force.com? Possible answer can include the following. First of all, Salesforce.com is built on the Force.com platform. Salesforce.com is SaaS, which is software as a service product, while Force.com is a PaaS product, platform as a service. Salesforce.com has a selection of prepackaged solutions such as the Sales and Service Cloud that are designed for a specific purpose, while Force.com allows you to build your own applications. Question 2. What are the types of organizations in Salesforce? Well, Salesforce offers different types of organizations which are used in different purposes. Example: production organization, sandbox organization, developer organization, partner developer organization, pre-release organization. First is production organization. Production organizations in Salesforce is the most used by users to perform their daily activities. All usernames must be unique across all production organization. Users can log into the production org at login.salesforce.com. The other organization is sandbox organization. Sandbox organizations in Salesforce can create multiple copies of your production org for development, configuration, testing and/or training without affecting your production configuration and data. Users can log into sandbox organizations at test.salesforce.com. Third one is the developer organization. A developer organization is a free, non-expiring copy of an enterprise edition environment that you can use to instantly start developing, testing and deploying your applications. In developer organization, we can develop applications, can create Apex, Visual Force, web services API, sites, pre-installed applications e.g. sales, marketing, ideas, customer portal, licenses for numerous Salesforce products like CRM, mobile, partner, etc. Log on to developer.force.com to get free developer edition link. Then we have partner developer organization. Partner developer organization is a free developer org with more storage, features and licenses for companies who are enrolled in the partner program. Fifth organization is pre-release organization. A pre-release organization is a limited-time organization that allows user to test new features or functionality typically associated with a pilot program or an upcoming release. These are special cases and you will most likely need to sign up for these orgs or contact Salesforce.com support. Question 3. Do you know about data skew in Salesforce? Well, this is one of the latest Salesforce interview questions and answers. When a single user owns over 10,000 records, the special condition refers to data skew. In the data skew condition, users can face issues when performing updates. Data skew is a condition which you will encounter when working for a big client where there are over 10,000 records. When one single user owns that many records, we call that condition ownership data skew. When such users perform updates, performance issues will be encountered because of data skew. This happens when a single user or members of a single role own most of the records for a particular object. Question 4. What are some governor limits in Salesforce? You may find this question very common in Salesforce interview questions. Governor limits control how much data and how many records you can store in the shared databases because Salesforce is a multi-tenant architecture based. In other words, Salesforce uses a single database to store the data of multiple customers. Salesforce introduced the concept of the governor limits to prevent monopolization of the shared resources between users. Governor limits are the biggest challenge of a Salesforce developer. This is because if the Apex code exceeds the limit, then the issue is a runtime exception that can't be handled. Some examples of some significant governor limits: pre-transaction Apex limits, static Apex limits, size-specific Apex limits, miscellaneous Apex limits, Force.com platform Apex limits, email limits, push notification limits. Question 5. Can we delete a user in Salesforce? Answer is no, we cannot delete the user in the Salesforce. Rather, we can just inactivate a user. Question 6. What are different storage options for records in Salesforce? This is again a very popular Salesforce interview questions. Salesforce has different ways for storing records such as files, documents and images. The storage options include attachments, libraries, Google Drive and Chatter files. Question 7. What is App Exchange? You're probably comfortable with the idea of app stores. Whether you're downloading apps on your phone, tablet, computer, or other device, you have to download and install apps to make the most of your technology. Salesforce has a community of partners that use the flexibility of the Salesforce platform to build amazing apps and other solutions that anyone can use. These offerings are available for installation on App Exchange. Question 8. What is the fiscal year in Salesforce? Starting and ending date of a company financial year is considered as fiscal year. The fiscal year is used to calculate annual financial statements in business and other organizations. Salesforce has two types of the fiscal year. In standard fiscal year, Salesforce provides a calendar by default as the standard fiscal year. It's a Gregorian calendar, but it is not necessary that all the organizations use the same calendar. Some organizations use different calendars and need to change the fiscal year start month. It can be defined whether the fiscal year is based on the start or end of the selected month. Whereas custom fiscal year is a different one. When the standard fiscal year does not meet the requirements of the organization, then custom fiscal year is used. To use the custom fiscal year, the administrator has to enable it. The administrator must define the fiscal year to fit the company's calendar. You can set up both the fiscal years by going to Company Profile section. Our second section is Salesforce Security, which is very important and foundation area which every Salesforce practitioner must have a very good understand. So the frequent topics which are asked from security area are passwords, IP restrictions, organization-wide defaults, roles, role hierarchy, manual sharing, sharing rules, public groups, profile, permission set. Now let's go through the interview questions in this section. Question 9. What's the difference between a role and a profile? 1. A profile will ultimately control access to which records a user has in a Salesforce org. No user can work on the Salesforce org without being assigned a profile. The profile is therefore mandatory for every user. Role, however, is not mandatory for every user. The primary function of the role or role hierarchy is that it allows higher level users in hierarchy get access to records owned by lower level users in the hierarchy. An example of that is sales managers getting access to records owned by sales reps while their peers do not get access to it. 2. Profiles help to control object privileges such as CRED, that is create, read, edit, delete. They also contain system permissions that a user can carry out, such as exporting data. Roles, on the other hand, help with sharing records across an organization. They work in a hierarchical fashion, giving users access to records that are owned by people lower down in the hierarchy. Question 10. What is a permission sets? A permission set is a collection of settings and permissions that give users access to various tools and functions. The settings and permissions in permission sets are also found in profiles, but permission sets extend users' functional access without changing their profiles. Question 11. How many ways we can share a record? It can also be asked like, what is OWD? Or what is the difference between manual sharing and criteria-based rules? Let's see the answer. In role hierarchy, if we add a user to a role, the user is above in the role hierarchy will have read access. Organization-wide defaults specify the default level of access users have to each other's records. Defines the baseline setting for the organization. OWD can be private, public read-only, public read and write. Then we have manual sharing. Manual sharing is sharing a single record to single user or group of users. We can see this button detail page of the record, and this is visible only when OWD setting is private. Then comes criteria-based sharing rules, if we want to share records based on condition like share records to group of users. Last there is Apex sharing. Share object is available for every object. For account object, share object is account share. If we want to share the records using Apex, we have to create a record to the share object. In this visual, we can see that the most restrictive record sharing method is OWD, whereas in manual sharing an administrator can share more than the other sharing methods. Question 12. List the 4 levels at which you can control data access. This is one of the important and frequently asked question in Salesforce interviews. First is organization. For your whole org, you can maintain a list of authorized users, set password policies, and limit logins to certain hours and locations. Second level is on objects. Access to object level data is the simplest thing to control. By setting permissions on a particular type of object, you can prevent a group of users from creating, viewing, editing, or deleting any records of that object. For example, you can use object permissions to ensure that interviewers can view positions and job applications but not edit or delete them. Third, in on fields level, you can restrict access to certain fields, even if a user has access to the object. For example, you can make the salary field in a position object invisible to interviewers but visible to hiring managers and recruiters. Fourth is on the records level. You can allow users to view an object, but then restrict the individual object records they're allowed to see. For example, an interviewer can see and edit her own reviews, but not the reviews of other interviewers. In this illustration, various access control levels are described. Object level access controls the access to various objects. Then fields permissions can be controlled by the field level security. Then record level security can show or hide various records through 4 records sharing techniques discussed as in the previous question. Question 13. What are the various auditing ways in Salesforce? Auditing provides important information for diagnosing potential security issues or dealing with real ones. One of the auditing method is to record modification fields. All objects include fields to store the name of the user who created the record and who last modified the record. This provides some basic auditing information. Second auditing method is via login history. You can review a list of successful and failed login attempts for the past 6 months. Then we have field history tracking method. You can turn on auditing to automatically track changes in the values of individual fields. Although field level auditing is available for all custom objects, only some standard objects allow it. Fourth way to perform audit is to set up audit trail. The setup audit trail logs when modifications are made to your organization's configuration. Question 14. What are some of the standard profiles in Salesforce? Salesforce platform includes a set of standard profiles. Some examples are read-only, standard user, marketing user, contract manager, and system administrator. Question 15. Does system administrator has any additional or special permissions? Yes, system administrator profile also includes 2 special permissions: view all data and modify all data. Question 16. What features does Salesforce Identity provide? Identity management is a huge administrative area, and Salesforce Identity offers features to address many aspects of it. The main features are single sign-on, connected apps, social sign-on, 2-factor authentication, my domain, centralized user account management, user provisioning, Identity Connect, and App Launcher. Question 17. Which are the 3 protocols that Salesforce and other identity vendors follow? A standard is just a set of widely agreed upon practices that industry members follow. A standard can include a protocol that specifies how systems exchange information. First is SAML. When you want users to move seamlessly between Salesforce orgs and applications without logging in repeatedly, you set up single sign-on. Security Assertion Markup Language, that is SAML, is the protocol that makes it happen. Second is OAuth 2.0, which is an open protocol used to allow secure data sharing between applications. The user works in one app but sees the data from another. For example, you're logged into your Salesforce mobile app and see your data from your Salesforce org. Third one is OpenID Connect. Like SAML, OpenID Connect is a protocol based on OAuth 2.0 that sends identity information from one service to another. Unlike SAML, OpenID Connect is built for today's world of social networks. Our third section is Salesforce Objects, which is again a very important and foundation area which every Salesforce practitioner must know in depth. So the frequent topics which are asked in relation to objects are standard and custom objects, various relationship models including master detail, lookup and junction objects, customized fields, page layouts, and record types. Now let's go through the interview questions in this section. Question 18. What type of the objects are available in Salesforce? Or what are the standard and custom objects? Objects are the database tables in Salesforce. Objects allow storing data specific to the organization in Salesforce. Standard objects are such objects that are inbuilt in Salesforcecom. Example: accounts, contacts, products, leads, opportunities, campaigns, users, contracts, report, and dashboards. Whereas custom objects are such objects that are created by us. These objects are user-defined objects. Custom objects store information which is important and unique to our organization. Custom objects hold the following properties: custom fields, relationship to other objects, page layouts, and a custom user interface tab. Question 19. What are the three types of object relationships available in Salesforce? This is also a very important and frequently asked question. There are three main relationship types in Salesforce. First, a lookup relationship can be used to link two objects together. It is the most basic type of relationship that creates a child-parent relationship between two objects. Secondly, a master detail relationship can also be used to link two objects together. A master detail relationship creates a tight relationship between the parent and the child. The child record inherits security of the parent, and if the parent is deleted, all associated child records will also be deleted. Master detail relationships created some extra functionality such as roll-up summary fields that allow you to calculate data on the parent from the children. Third one is a many-to-many relationship, also referred to as a junction object, allows you to create a relationship between two objects that need to model a many-to-many relationship. These are created with an object that has two master detail relationships to two parent objects. Question 20. What do you understand by master detail relationship? 1N. It is a parent-child relationship in which the master object controls the behavior of the dependent child object. It is a 1N relationship, in which there can be only one parent, but many children. The main concept you need to know is that, being the controlling object, the master field cannot be empty. If a record field in master object is deleted, the corresponding fields in the dependent object are also deleted. This is called a cascade delete. Dependent fields will inherit the owner, sharing and security settings from its master. You can define master detail relationships between two custom objects, or between a custom object and standard object as long as the standard object is the master in the relationship. Question 21. How to create master details relationship between existing records? It can also be asked in other ways like, a custom object contains some records, now my requirement is to create field in this object with master detail relationship. Can we create master detail relationship in this case? Or how we can create an MDR on those objects where we already have records? So in order to accomplish this, first, we to create LR between the two objects, then connect all child records to parent. Finally convert the field type from LR to MDR. We cannot create master details relationship directly if custom object contains existing records. Following are the steps to create master detail relationship when records are available in custom object. First, create field with lookup relationship, and then associate look field with parent record for every record. Next, change the data type of the field from lookup to master detail. Question 22. What do you understand by lookup relationship? Lookup relationships are used when you want to create a link between two objects, but without the dependency on the parent object. Similar to master detail relationship, you can think of this as a form of parent-child relationship where there is only one parent, but many children, i.e. 1N relationship. The difference here is that despite being controlling field, deleting a record will not result in automatic deletion of the lookup field in the child object. Thus the records in the child object will not be affected and there is no cascade delete here. Neither will the child fields inherit the owner, sharing or security settings of its parent. Question 24. What is junction relationship? This kind of a relationship can exist when there is a need to create two master detail relationships. Two master detail relationships can be created by linking three custom objects. Here, two objects will be master objects and the third object will be dependent on both the objects. In simpler words, it will be a child object for both the master objects. Question 25. How many ways we can make field is required? The answer is 3 ways. 1. While creation of field. 2. Validation rules. 3. Page layout level. Question 26. Is checkbox performs like controlling field? Yes, possible. Controlling field should be checkbox or pick list. Question 27. What are the record types? Record types are restrict the pick list values and assign to the different page layouts for different record types. Question 28. If we delete parent records in MDR, what happens to the child? Well, if you delete the parent record in the MDR, the child record also gets deleted in MDR. Question 29. What happens to detail record when a master record is deleted? It can also be asked in the other forms like what happens to child record when a parent record is deleted? Answer is, in a master detail relationship, when a master record is deleted, the detail record is deleted automatically. In a lookup relationship, even if the parent record is deleted, the child record will not be deleted. Question 30. How many LR, that is lookup relationship fields, can be created in an object? Answer is maximum 40 lookup relationship fields can be created in an object. Question 31. What is track field history? While creating the object, we can enable track field history. If we enable track field history, user can see Set History Tracking button under Custom Fields and Relationships section, which is available on the object detail page. By clicking on Set History Tracking button, we can enable tracking for the fields whichever we want. To see the object history, go to Objects Record Layout and add Object Name History Related List to the layout. Whenever user changes field value from one value to another value, it will show the history of the field in Object History Related List. Question 32. What happens if we undelete the deleted junction object? Master detail relationship data types will be converted to lookup relationship data types. Question 33. What is mini page layout and how to enable? For lookup fields on record detail page, we see a link. Whenever we put cursor on that link, we see a pop-up window which displays few fields. To control the field's visibility, on that lookup field parent object page layout, we see a mini page layout in that we can control. Question 34. What is enhanced list view? In list views, we can modify multiple records at a time using enhanced list views. Note: to modify multiple records, all the records should belong to same record type in the list view, otherwise we cannot modify. Our fourth section is reports and dashboards, which is a vital area for Salesforce and asked by the interviewers. The common topics which are asked in relation to reports and dashboards are reports, report types, report format, fields, summarizing data, filtering data, charting, scheduling, conditional highlighting, dashboards, dynamic dashboards, dashboard components, running user. Now let's go through the interview questions. Question 35. What is report? Reports give you access to your Salesforce data. You can examine your Salesforce data in almost infinite combinations, display it in easy to understand formats, and share the resulting insights with others. Before building, reading and sharing reports, review these reporting basics. Question 36. What is Report Builder? The Report Builder is a visual, drag and drop tool which you use to create reports and edit existing ones. The Report Builder is where you choose a report type, report format, and the fields that make up your report. To launch the Report Builder, click New Report. Question 37. What is Report Builder? The Report Builder is a visual, drag and drop tool which you use to create reports and edit existing ones. The Report Builder is where you choose a report type, report format, and the fields that make up your report. Question 38. What are the filters? You can limit the data that your report returns by using filters. Filters are useful for many reasons, such as focusing your report on specific data, or ensuring that your report runs quickly. For instance, the report returns all the cases in your company, but you only want to see cases which are open and assigned to you. Filter the report on the owner field and status field. Question 38. What is the maximum number of records shown in Salesforce reports? This one is one of the notable advanced level Salesforce interview questions. The response to this question implies the maximum limit of records in Salesforce reports 2000 records. The 2K limit is applicable in matrix, summary, and tabular reports. Question 39. What is bucketing in reports? Bucket field in reports is used to group values to the name we specify. Question 40. What are the types of reports that we have in Salesforce? Well, there are 4 types of reports that are available in Salesforce, which are: the tabular report is those who give us the total in a tabular format. Matrix report, the format where grouping is done based on columns and rows. The summary report gives us the detailed reports based on columns. Fourth one is the join reports, which are capable of allowing 2 or more reports in one report. Question 41. What are the dashboards? Dashboards help you visually understand changing business conditions so you can make decisions based on the real-time data you have gathered with reports. Use dashboards to help users identify trends, sort out quantities, and measure the impact of their activities. Before building, reading, and sharing dashboards, review these dashboard basics. Question 42. What are dynamic dashboards? Can dynamic dashboards be scheduled? Before we understand dynamic dashboards, let us first understand static dashboards. Static dashboards are the basic dashboard types that will be visible to any user who has made a report out of his data. An example of this is what a sales manager or marketing manager would be able to see on his Salesforce org. In other words, a normal dashboard shows data only from a single user's perspective. Now comes the concept of dynamic dashboards. Dynamic dashboards are used to display information which is tailored to a specific user. Let us consider the same example as above. In case the sales manager wants to view the report generated specific to only one of his team members, then he can use dynamic dashboards. You can use dynamic dashboards when you want to show user-specific data of a particular user, such as their personal quotas and sales, or number of case closures, or leads converted etc. As far as the second part of the question is concerned, no, we cannot schedule a dynamic dashboard. That is because whenever we open the dashboard, it will show the data generated in real time. Workflow and process automation is an interesting and frequently asked area in the interviews, as developers and testers are required to work on this area. Some of the common topics in workflow and process automation are trigger, workflow, email templates, workflow actions, and approval process. Question 43. What is difference between trigger and workflow? Workflow is an automated process that fired an action based on evaluation criteria and rule criteria. We can access a workflow across the object. We cannot perform DML operation on workflow. We cannot query from database, whereas trigger is a piece of code that executes before or after a record is inserted or updated. We can access the trigger across the object and related to that objects. We can use 20 DML operations in one trigger. We can use 20 SOQLs from database in one trigger. Question 44. How many types of email templates can be created in Salesforce? Different types of email templates can be created in Salesforce. Some of them are listed below. HTML with letterhead. People who are having edit HTML templates permissions can create this template based on the letterhead. Custom HTML. People who are having edit HTML templates permissions can create this template without any letterhead. Visual Force. Only the administrator and developer can create this template. It provides some advanced functionalities like merging data from multiple records is available only in this template. Question 45. What are the different kinds of workflow actions? This one is quite important and frequently asked question in Salesforce interviews. First workflow is field update. We can update a field of the same object or the fields of the parent objects which are at master side in master detail relationship. Only for master detail parent objects we can update the field, and for lookup we can't update. Then we have email alert. We can send emails if the criteria meets. We also have new task. We can create new task in Salesforce. Fourth one is outbound message. We can make a call out. Question 46. What is approval process? An approval process is an automated process your organization can use to approve records in Salesforce. An approval process specifies the steps necessary for a record to be approved and who must approve it at each step. A step can apply to all records included in the process, or just records that have certain attributes. Question 47. After activating the approval process, I want to add one more step. Is it possible? It's not possible. To add one more step, deactivate the approval process and clone the deactivated approval process and add the new steps. Data management section includes the topics like data loader, import wizard, CSV files, and duplicate records. Data loader and import wizards especially are favorite and important topics, as they are commonly used in Salesforce for data management. Question 48. What are the different ways of deployment in Salesforce? You can deploy code in Salesforce using change sets, Eclipse with Force.com IDE, Force.com migration tool, and Salesforce package. Question 49. What is data loader? Data loader is a client application for the bulk import or export of data. Use it to insert, update, delete, or export Salesforce records. When importing data, data loader reads, extracts, and loads data from CSV files or from a database connection. When exporting data, it outputs CSV files. Question 50. What is import wizard? Well, import wizard is a web-based tool to process bulk records. With import wizard we can process maximum of 50,000 records. In import wizard we can't see few objects. For example, if there is master detail relationship between two objects, then child object we can't see. Question 51. What's the difference between data loader and import wizard? To answer this, use the data import wizard when you need to load less than 50,000 records. The objects you need to import are supported by the wizard. You don't need the import process to be automated. Whereas use data loader when you need to load 50,000 to 5 million records. If you need to load more than 5 million records, we recommend you work with a Salesforce partner or visit the App Exchange for a suitable partner product. You need to load into an object that is not supported by the data import wizard. You want to schedule regular data loads, such as nightly imports. This section is the soul of Salesforce. Sales and marketing are the applications for which Salesforce is meant and known for. Lead, opportunity, opportunity stages, campaign, price and price book, quotes, assignment rules, queue and public groups and web to lead are some of the common and interesting concepts which are must for every Salesforce professional. Question 52. What is web to lead? On lead object we can generate the HTML code by selecting lead fields and by mentioning return URL from web to lead option. The generated HTML code can be hosted in any of the website. Upon entering the information in those fields and clicking on submit button, that information will be saved into lead object of the Salesforce. Question 53. What is a public group? We can add set of random users in the public group. We can't assign public group as an owner of the record. In manual sharing rules and in list views we can use public group. Question 54. What is queue? In queue we can add group of users and we can assign the objects to the queue. After creating the queue, one of the list view automatically created on the objects which are selected for the queue. We can assign this queue as the owner of the records. Later users who are part of that queue can claim the ownership by navigating to list view corresponding to the queue. In that list view, users who are part of the queue can select the record and click on accept button so that record ownership will be transferred from queue to accepted person. Question 55. What are the assignment rules? Assignment rules are used to automate your organization's lead generation and support processes. In lead assignment rules we specify how leads are assigned to users or queues as they are created manually, captured from the web, or imported via the lead import wizards. Whereas in case assignment rules we determine how cases are assigned to users or put into queues as they are created manually, using web to case, email to case, on-demand email to case, the self-service portal, the customer portal, Outlook, or Lotus Notes. Question 55. Question 56. What are the differences between Salesforce public groups and queues? This is an important and fundamental question to be asked in Salesforce interviews. Groups. A group consists of a set of users. A group can contain individual users, other groups, or the users in a particular role or territory. It can also contain the users in a particular role or territory plus all the users below that role or territory in the hierarchy. Queues. Queues help your teams manage leads, cases, service contracts, and custom objects. Once records are placed in a queue manually or through an automatic case or lead assignment rule, records remain there until they're assigned to a user or taken by one of the queue members. Any queue member or users above them in the role hierarchy can take ownership of records in a queue. Use queues to route lead, case, and custom object records to a group. Question 57. What is a lead in Salesforce.com? It can also be asked, how to create a new lead in Salesforce and how to edit, view created lead in Salesforce.com? Let's understand this, as this is a fundamental and critical concept. When a person enters to database to purchase some products, then we enter this person as a lead. Leads in Salesforce.com are assigned to sales team. This sales team will work on these leads and at some point in the sales process convert them by creating a new account, contact and, optionally, an opportunity. Leads are simply prospective customers that you are trying to sell to. Leads can be entered manually, imported or captured from a web to lead forms. Leads contain both company and contact information. When new leads are created, we must automatically assign those leads to salespeople using lead assignment rules. Administrators can configure field mappings which determines how the data from the lead is used to create the new account, contact and opportunity. All open and closed activities from the lead are attached to the account, contact, and opportunity. Once leads are converted, they can no longer be viewed directly but do appear in lead reports. Question 58. What is a product? Products are the actual items that you sell on your opportunities and quotes. Products are associated to have one or more price books to create price book entries. Products can exist in multiple price books with many different prices. Question 59. What is a standard price book? The standard price book is automatically generated, which contains master list of all products and standard prices regardless of the custom price books that also contain them. Before adding products to our opportunities or quotes, first we have to select the price book. When importing products, you must also import price book entries. When using custom price books, we must add the product to the standard price book along with custom price book. Question 60. What is a quote in Salesforce? As you might know, a quote is a formal proposal for products and services that you are offering for a specific opportunity. Opportunities can contain multiple quotes, and quotes are created from an opportunity and its products. In Salesforce.com, any change to line items on the opportunity will sync with products on the quote, when a quote and an opportunity are synced, and vice versa. You can also create templates that allow you to email completed quotes as PDFs to prospects. Question 61. What is an opportunity in Salesforce? Opportunities are past or pending sales for an account that you want to work and track. Opportunities plays major role in an organization because they represent sales and potential sales. Using opportunities, we can forecast sales in an organization. Opportunities may have quotes, proposals, and orders. Using opportunities, we can forecast sales in an organization. Opportunities are one of the most widely used and heavily customized objects on the platform. Opportunities allows user to track the individual products, opportunity line items that you are selling on the deal, multiple quotes, any partners involved. Question 62. What is a campaign in Salesforce.com? In Salesforce, campaigns can manage, plan, and track our marketing initiatives. Using campaigns, we can analyze the effectiveness of our campaigns to measure our marketing investments. Campaigns are outbound marketing projects that we want track, plan, and manage leads, contacts, and opportunities. We use campaign records. We can add both leads and contacts to campaigns in Salesforce. To create new campaigns in Salesforce, user must have marketing users license and also must enable permissions on campaigns in their profiles. We can use data import wizard to add new names to create leads to a campaign. To track campaigns in Salesforce, we use contacts or lead IDs. All campaigns are executed outside of Salesforce.com, but you can track their response and analyze their influence on new business. Service and support application is a very crucial area for Salesforce as it relates to customer service. Concepts like licenses, case, channels, Salesforce knowledge, case assignment, auto-response, escalation, web-to-case, and email-to-case are vital to understand and asked in the interviews. Question 63. What are the 4 licenses in the Service Cloud? Answer. There are 4 licenses for Service Cloud. First is Service Cloud User. Support agents use the console for service. Then second is Knowledge User. Support agents create and edit knowledge base articles. Third is the Chat User. Support agents communicate with customers using web chat. Fourth one is Customer Community. Support agents communicate with customers on an online community. Question 64. What is a case in Salesforce? A case is a customer's question, feedback, or issue. Support agents can review cases to see how they can deliver better service. Sales reps can use cases to see how they affect the sales process. Responding to cases keeps your customers happy and enhances your brand. Cases are the foundation of the Service Cloud and are used to track customer issues and inquiries, typically used to track and manage customer feedback, issues, or questions. Cases can be created by support representatives, from web forms on your website, by customers themselves from the customer portal, or directly from emails, email to case. New cases can be assigned directly to support agents, case teams, or case queues using assignment rules. Question 65. What are the Service Cloud channels? Service Cloud support channels offer many ways, that is phone, email, web chat, social network channels, and more, that the customers can use to contact you. Today's customers are used to being digitally connected and easily communicating with their friends, families, and co-workers. Available channels: phone, email, web form, web chat, and many others as shown on the screen. Question 66. What is Salesforce knowledge? Give your website visitors, clients, partners, and service agents the ultimate support tool. Create and manage a knowledge base with your company information, and securely share it when and where it's needed. Salesforce knowledge base is built from knowledge articles, which are documents of information. Articles can include information on process, like how to reset your product to its defaults, or frequently asked questions, like how much storage your product supports. Question 67. What are the differences between Lightning Knowledge with Knowledge in Salesforce Classic? As you can see on the screen, the differences are in setup, types of articles, page layouts, object home, access and permissions, and files feature types. The important thing to note is that in both the Lightning versions, the goal is to give your website visitors, clients, partners, and service agents the ultimate support tool. Question 68. What is Lightning? This is one of the popular Salesforce interview question nowadays as companies are approaching more to the Lightning version. Lightning is the collection of tools and technologies behind a significant upgrade to the Salesforce platform. Lightning includes Experience, a set of modern user interfaces optimized for speed. This includes the Lightning Experience, Salesforce One mobile app and template-based communities. Lightning Component Framework, a JavaScript framework and set of standard components that allow you to build reusable components to customize the Lightning experience, Salesforce One mobile app and template-based communities and build your own standalone apps. Visual building tools, drag and drop technologies for fast and easy app building and customizations. Use the Lightning App Builder to customize the Lightning experience and Salesforce One mobile app. Use the Community Builder to customize template-based communities. Lightning Exchange, a section of the App Exchange where you can find 70+ partner components to jump-start your development. Lightning Design System, style guides and modern enterprise UX best practices to build pixel-perfect apps that match the look and feel of the Lightning experience and Salesforce One mobile app. Question 69. Where we can use Lightning components? We can use Lightning components in the following places: drag and drop components in the Lightning App Builder and Community Builder. Add Lightning components to Lightning pages. Add Lightning components to Lightning Experience record pages. Launch a Lightning component as a quick action. Override standard actions with Lightning components. Create standalone apps. Question 70. What is the difference between application event and component event? To start with, component events are used to do communication between child and parent. They use bubbling and capture same as used in DOM events. A change in a child component can be communicated to the parent component via component event. Whereas application events are used to communicate any change in the component to a broader audience. Any component who has registered for this event will get a notified. Hope this list of 70 Salesforce interview question and answers proves useful in your upcoming Salesforce interviews as well as increases the Salesforce knowledge. Please like, share, subscribe and comment so that we are motivated enough to come up with such knowledge sharing videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.